Many sensitive people were taught how to fight their nature instead of how to understand themselves and leverage their strength. In this video, we're going to debunk 5 destructive lies that hold sensitive people from their full potential. I'll let you know beforehand that there is a high chance that you have heard all of them before. Lie number 1. You are not normal, hence you're flawed. This message is problematic because it inflates the idea of normal into something oversized and big, making it seem like you are the only flawed exception on this whole wide world. But you're not. A study from Leonetti and others suggests that 30% of the population falls into the group of highly sensitive people. And that doesn't mean that the other 70% are homogeneous majority, but the paper suggests that another 30% are made up by low sensitive people and 40% by mid-sensitive people. So the big normal is just 10% more than the category of highly sensitive people. Congrats, you're not as weird as you think. I'm just kidding. Despite any numbers, you shouldn't base your worth on a quantitative matter. Let's say highly sensitive people made up 80% of the population. Would that make you a better person? Would that make you a more valuable person, a more important person? No. You would be just as valuable as you are already. You are priceless, you're unique, and you're irreplaceable. Lie number 2. Sensitivity is a weakness. If sensitivity is a weakness, then why is How to Influence People such a timeless classic? Because the idea he presents delivers on the message. People aren't convinced by pure arguments or pressure as much as they think they are, but through understanding, genuine interest, and appreciation. Being able to connect with people is the key to success in our work life as well as in our private life. According to the psychologist Daniel Goleman, the 5 core components of emotional intelligence are self-awareness, recognizing and understanding your own emotions, self-regulation, managing or redirecting disruptive emotions and impulses, motivation, using emotional factors to achieve goals and stay driven, empathy, understanding the emotions and perspective of others, social skills, managing relationships, building trust, and navigating social situations effectively. Being naturally sensitive can give you an enormous advantage in strengthening and sharpening your emotional intelligence. Sensitive people are shown to be highly self-aware and highly empathic. Don't take them for granted. As natural as they come to you, some people struggle with them. If you believe that sensitivity is a weakness, there is a chance those attributes will remain sleeping potential. But if you decide to maximize your emotional intelligence, you can strengthen the other components as well, like your self-regulation or your communication skills. Once you start leveraging your sensitivity, you will become invincible. If invincible sounds good to you, you need to uncover lie number 3. You can't handle pressure. Sensitive people absorb more information, emotionally, socially, and sensorially. Without the right balancing strategies, this can lead to overstimulation or exhaustion. That can lead to the impression that sensitive people generally can't handle pressure. But when you develop the right tools to regulate and recharge, it can actually lead to exceptional resilience on the long run. How can that be? Sensitive people process experiences deeply, including the hard ones. Because you don't suppress challenges, but you think and feel your way through them, you develop a deeply rooted inner strength that isn't surface level toughness. Another trait among sensitive people is the need for meaning. If you don't find purpose in what they're doing, they can be thrown off balance quickly. But once you discover a deeper why, you become highly engaged, motivated, and resilient. The assumption that sensitive people are unable to handle pressure by default is incorrect. It's not the intensity of pressure, but your requirement for different conditions to thrive. These can be more pauses, more meaning, more reconnection. If you work with your true design, your strength can be extraordinary. If you struggle to integrate and embrace the nature of sensitivity, you can check out the link in the comments for my next reprogramming program or for one-on-one coaching with me, in which I guide you to overcome and grow from your personal challenges. But for now, let's uncover line number 4. Crying is a sign of weakness. When you're happy, angry, or sad, you can hustle, you can hit the gym, you can paint, you can make music, you can drink and take substances that stimulate you. But if you cry, nah, that's too much. Crying is a natural processing mechanism of overwhelm. Through tears, the body gets rid of stress hormones like cortisol. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, and it calms you down, releases oxytocin and endorphins for relief. Doesn't it sound amazing? Now imagine this. You take in a huge amount of stimuli, emotional, social, sensory, and your body comes with a built-in system to handle all of it. But you avoid it because people who process way less than you tell you it's a sign of weakness. It's like a candle telling a fireplace that having a chimney is a weakness. The candle doesn't need one. Its flame is significantly smaller and it produces less smoke. But the fireplace burns stronger, deeper. It naturally produces more smoke. More input equals more output. So wouldn't it be irrational not to cry when your body tells you to? Talking about irrationality, line number 5. Your emotions make you irrational. The problem is that we make an absolute judgment about the form of intelligence based on a completely different form of intelligence. According to Howard Gardner, who is a professor of cognition and education at Harvard University, there are several forms of intelligence. When we talk about rationality, we usually refer to the logic mathematical intelligence. Other forms of intelligences are, for example, the linguistic intelligence or the musical intelligence. We don't assume that someone who's linguistically talented is bad at music or that musical people are irrational. But why do we automatically assume that sensitivity opposes rationality? It makes sense that emotional intelligence and logic intelligence get special attention as they're constantly called up on in our everyday life, and society is keen on identifying indicators for success. But in the past, we have been too fast in assuming that logical intelligence is superior to emotional intelligence. In addition, the idea of pitting sensitivity and rationality against each other makes us neglect other cases, namely low sensitivity with low rationality or high sensitivity with high rationality. It's possible to have both or to have less of both. Whatever traits you find in yourself, 2 things are certain. 1, you can only work with what you got, so be happy with what you got. And 2, you can always develop further. You're not stuck to where you are. In this video, we have learned that sensitive people are not a rare species, but are assumed to make up 30% of the population, besides 40% of the mid-sensitive people and other 30% that are low sensitive. Sensitivity is a strength when you combine it with other components of emotional intelligence, like self-regulation. Initially, your high processing can lead to overwhelm easily, but once you identify work and life conditions that nurture you, you will thrive and develop deeply rooted resilience. And if that includes crying, so it is. Crying is a built-in regulatory system of stress, and sensitive people benefit much more from it than less sensitive people. When you combine your emotional intelligence with your logical intelligence, the world will be at your feet. I see you in the next video.